Hello, my name is Sarah Minnis, and I have the exciting job as the governance team support. I do things like staying connected with our members, planning meetings, and organizing webinars, and making sure things get done. I'm here today with my colleague, Dr. Kathleen Kevaney from Dalhousie University, who is team lead of the governance team. Hi, Kathleen.
Hi, Sarah.
Kathleen, can you tell me a little bit about what the governance team is all about?
Yes, the governance team is an active network within a larger network of folks who are doing things together around all things rural, and that is the Rural Policy Learning Commons. The governance research team focuses on facilitating, promoting, and supporting research around governance issues, whereby members in rural regions and communities examine mechanisms and tools that enable them to achieve economic, social, environmental, political goals. And our team members also examine governance structures, processes, and policies that may impact positively or negatively rural life.
Wow, that's a big mandate.
It is, and we want to basically expand our team so that we can enlarge and include all folks who are doing good work around rural governance.
Oh, well, that sounds very exciting. So when we talk about rural governance, what are we talking about?
Well, our members are engaged in a number of topics, and it is a broad area, so you're quite right. And what we are thinking about in the range of issues, I can just speak to a few of those that from our list of topics that our colleagues include.
Right.
Citizen engagement and community-led decision-making, citizen development and social inclusion, environment issues, finance and economics, food issues and governance, governance structures and collaboration, indigenous peoples' work around governance, translating research into policy, as we know, is so critical. That is mobilizing knowledge and how do we use information for good decision-making, watershed and water governance, numerous issues, as you can imagine.
Wow, that definitely shows how diverse the interests are and the range of research being done by governance team members. That's really neat. This scope sounds ambitious and inspiring. How do you manage such an assortment of issues on the governance team?
Good question. And isn't this always the biggest challenge? How do you manage a network with diverse interests and people who come from disparate parts of the country or in the world, as we're striving to be a really effective national and international network? So we strive to ensure that we're being meaningful in our interventions, and that we want to ensure that our members are actively engaged in the formation of our focus. So we use collaborative governance, and our members are invited to be party to deciding with us what our priority directions will be, what our theme focus will be, as well as how we're going to distribute our resources and what criteria we're going to use to assess those funding applications. Membership is involved in all of those things.
Wow, all right. So as far as the actual people on the governance team, it's made up of rural researchers and practitioners from across Canada and internationally, which is pretty neat. In what ways does the governance team help in issues of rural governance?
Mm-hmm. To me, that's the heart of our work. You're asking the most critical question there, and that is about relevance. How are we making a difference? And as we're saying at this conference, we need to do two critical things through our work, and that is bring the key people together who are working on governance issues, those academics, researchers, practitioners, along with policymakers. We need those people together, not necessarily always in the same room, but definitely connected. And they need to be connected with information. Critical, kind of like last-minute, state-of-the-art data that drives good decision-making. So that is available through the platform that the Rural Policy Learning Commons enables us to do with webinars, information sharing through newsletters, through face-to-face discussions, through one-on-one, bilateral connections, colleagues in different places in the world. So we really are a knowledge mobilization forum, and we're a connector. We get stuff done. And that can only happen by having the right people with the right information.
Definitely. And you also mentioned some funding opportunities. This always gets attention, I know, from people interested in the governance team. What kind of opportunities are there available from the governance team?
Yeah, it is a nice opportunity that we have, thanks to the team who've helped support this. We gave a big shout out to SHIRK for its funding and other partners that have made this all possible. But we do have resources available to us in governance, and anyone who's a member, and you must be a member to access the funding, and Sarah can tell us more about that, but folks can request assistance to attend a gathering like a conference, to be part of a knowledge mobilization initiative. Faculty members in universities or practitioners can approach the governance team to access dollars that are there, and we do have money to help distribute the word. We want to get the word out in communities where it's going to make a difference, so we want to help people come together to help make that happen.
Oh, well, that's great. So, again, how can someone access the funding?
Well, they contact our member. They become a member of our group initially, and they can do that through contacting Sarah directly. Information is available, of course, on the RPLC website, the Rural Policy Learning Commons website, and maybe you can share more information about how they can contact you.
Absolutely. You can contact me if you want to become a member. It's really easy, and we're very inclusive. If you want to email me at sminnes@grenfell.mun.ca. That's SMINNESAT@GRENFELL.mun.ca. Then all I give you is a profile to fill out, and pretty much like magic, you are a member.
I like that, because we really are about creating magic together. So if a couple of the pathways that we really encourage people to think about making magic together are through, we have a number of opportunities in funding. We have a policy fellow position, and it's a really cool opportunity for folks who are working in the field to be leading in sharing their insights that will really help with critical issues in rural governance. Who wouldn't want a title like that? Policy fellow with rural governance. It's also an opportunity for students to do some policy briefs and some really timely literature reviews. We are looking for our members to identify the topics. Then we'll put that through our collaborative governance structure where we decide what priorities will be given support for funding, and we think we'll have some really neat opportunities in the months ahead. So we really are looking for people to join with us and be part of those lit reviews, policy briefs, and we're calling out for people to be policy fellows with us.
Oh, well, that sounds great. And as far as being a member also, we want to point out that you can either be a passive member or you can be an active member. Maybe you can talk a little bit more about that, Catherine.
Yeah, so we know people are busy. We know people have lots going on in their lives, and we don't want to discourage anyone from being a member with the governance team. We recognize different ways of being engaged. So one can be active, so that by active participation, we suggest that could be people who want to offer a webinar, who want to participate in webinars, who may themselves want to come to a forum like the Rural Policy Learning Commons gatherings, or the SURF, which is the Canadian Rural Revitalization Foundation annual gathering, where we can also find people behind the scenes involved in helping with the youth or the research students might be working on around issues in rural governance. They can participate in being part of the intellectual team behind a policy brief, or they could themselves be identifying people in the field who are really leading around policy change, and they might become people who could be our policy fellows, for example. So active participation takes many forms. Passive is a little more, as you would expect, passive in that maybe people just want to participate in a webinar, and we don't diss that at all. We welcome participation even if people can't be totally active. So we wouldn't discourage anyone to consider participation with governance, but you may just identify to Sarah what level of participation you want.
Absolutely. Well, that's great. So anyone and everyone is the message I'm getting here.
Absolutely, anyone and everyone is welcome to participate with governance. We really do like our gatherings to be fun, to be informative, and quite informal. But we really do want to get stuff done in society where needs are great in rural communities. We've heard lots over these days about the importance of coming up with critical solutions to timely problems, and where we can really bring each other some insights and leverage each other's strengths to help make that happen.
Great. So just a reminder, all information for joining the network can be found if you Google RPLC Governance Canada, or you can visit the website at rplc-capr.ca, and under who we are, you can find the governance team.
We welcome you to join us.
Thanks, Kathleen.
That was great, Sarah. Thank you.